learning or not. You can't gauge whether they've taken in anything that you said. So it's kind of difficult. Yeah. I do like virtual training though. I do enjoy it.
Yeah. Now you have your own deck, don't you?
I do, yeah. So this is mine. So I'm going to go through it today. But yeah, it's the InBetween tarot.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Hi, Janine.
Hello, we're very early.
I know. Well, we normally do log on a bit early, and then we can sort out any teething problems and what have you.
Yeah.
Jenny's been on for a long time because of the clock changes.
Oh, yeah, what time is it in California?
We changed. We sprang forward last weekend.
Oh, we did that tonight.
When I put this on my calendar, it started at 8 a.m. my time, but with the new time, it starts at 9 a.m. my time. So I I got on into Zoom and not a soul was here. And so I looked at my calendar again, and then I checked my world clock on my phone and saw that I was a whole hour early, but better early than late, right?
Absolutely, yes. Now, I apologize in advance. I had my COVID injection this morning, and I'm really, really tired.
Oh.
He's snoring, it's just me.
Are you feeling rough then?
No, I feel absolutely fine, apart from being tired. I don't know if that's because I've had a bit of a stressful week and I've relaxed.
Yeah.
Or if it's because of the injection.
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully you feel better tomorrow and a bit more energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I did say my arm will ache more tomorrow than today, but it's not aching at all. Keep rotating it.
I'm not looking forward to getting mine, but I know I'm going to have it because I want to travel at some point this year.
Oh, so. Yeah, it's not an issue. Just have it.
Yeah.
Try for the worst, and if it doesn't happen, you're laughing.
Yeah. Is the vaccine readily available where you are?
Yes, they are. We're doing the over 50s now. That's why I've got in.
Good.
The old section. So I think they're aiming to do the over 18 by the end of July, aren't they?
The over 18? Oh, I had no idea, right? I didn't think they'd be even this year, but that'll be, yeah, that's good. That's getting through everybody then, because they're not going to vaccinate the children, are they?
No.
I think it starts at 18 plus, yeah.
Right.
Well, I hope we don't go back into lockdown, because I saw the news this morning and it said that France and Poland are going back into a big national lockdown. And we're just about ready to open up, aren't we? And be free again.
Yes, but I think we've been a lot stricter. Plus, we're a small country. Help.
Yeah. And on April the 12th, I think that's when the shops and the restaurants and the outdoor bar areas start to reopen. So hopefully we can get back to some kind of normal anyway. By the way, can you hear me and see me okay?
Yeah, fine. I like your hat.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Lori.
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you very much. I've worn it for a while. This is the one that I usually take to festivals, and I do workshops in the healing fields. I always wear this hat when I'm out there, but of course we've not had festivals for a year, so it's been dust.
Well, this is the next best thing. Zoom's been wonderful this last year.
Hasn't it just?
Yeah, and we've got to meet loads of people and get to know them. Normally, you see them once a year.
What?
Your cereal's getting soggy.
I know. Somebody was there though, and
Hello? Age of Aquarius. Oh, we're still a little bit early, aren't we? We've still got 5 minutes to go.
Yeah. Normally come on early, we have a bit of a natter and then back into it.
You can tell that I've just been waiting for this today. I had nothing else on my agenda. I've been really looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah,
Nice to get to know you.
and you too. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I
Pleasure.
really appreciate it.
Hi.
So, oh,
There's 30 people signed up for this,
fantastic. That's
so
amazing.
I'm hoping we'll have a flurry in a minute. Somebody else will join.
Nori, Wickerelia, can you hear me? Oh, you can. Hi. Oh, it's so nice.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm so good. And it's really nice to meet you for the first time because we've not seen each other in person, have we? So, yeah.
Yes, it's very nice to meet you too. Greetings from Lima, Peru. I'm calling from Lima, Peru. It's 11 here a.m. So
What time is it over there? Sorry.
11 a.m.
Oh, 11 a.m. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just coming up to 4 o'clock here in the UK in the afternoon, of course. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing to see you. Yeah. We've been friends on Instagram for a few years now.
Yes, yes. I bought your tarot last year in Philadelphia.
Amazing. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, very much. And I have the deck here.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
and I know that I promised you that I'm going to do a tarot review in Spanish, so I will let you know as soon as I have it done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
How are you? You're centre stage there, Cheryl, with your fantastic pink hair.
Sorry?
You're centre stage there with your.
am I? Oh dear.
Oh, you've moved along now.
Well, that's probably a good thing. Hello.
How's everything going with you today?
It's good. I love the hat. I'm glad you got it on. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Fantastic. All right, it's so nice to be able to put everybody's names to faces as well, because you know when you're on Instagram and you see everybody's tarot posts, you get used to like the layout and how people are setting the cards out and things like that, but you don't always get to see the person behind the posts. So, wow, this is really up close and personal today. Are you okay, Rebecca? How's everything with you?
Yes, fine. I'm fine. I do live in Germany, so it's 5 o'clock, so it's a good time for the meeting.
Oh, fantastic. Did I hear right about, is it Germany that's going back into lockdown? Or is
Yeah, it looks like, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have they give you a date for when you have to go back into lockdown?
It depends where you do live in Germany, so it's quite different.
Yeah.
So in my area, it's still fine. We do not yet have the lockdown again,
Mhm.
but it might come next week. So let's see.
Oh, okay. We want this to be over soon, don't we? And go back to some kind of normality. We're supposed to be coming out of lockdown on April the 12th. So fingers crossed. Yeah, we need to go out and see people. I'm missing all my friends and family. It's been ages since I've seen everyone. Hi, Susan. You all right there?
Oh, darling, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well.
I've got your amazing deck of cards. I love them. Really
Oh,
love
that's
them.
great. Thank you very much.
I didn't realise you were UK, so it was an added bonus.
Oh, right. Okay. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in London, outside London, near Windsor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, I'm in Manchester, so I'm not too far.
No, not too far at all. How have you coped with the lockdown?
I've been teaching online all the way through. So for me, I've been in a bit of a hermit stage. I've been a bit isolated, but I've not minded because I've managed to get a lot of stuff done work-wise.
Yes.
So it's been productive.
Yeah, I think you've got to make the best of it.
Yeah, definitely.
as difficult as it is.
Yeah, and how have you got through?
Yeah, I've been working from home. I work for London Underground, so it was,
okay.
yeah, it was a bit strange being at home and not being amongst all the staff. So
Yeah,
Ven.
yeah.
Acá, mira.
yes, I think you've got lots of people joining now.
I think so, yeah. I'm seeing lots of faces.
I can't see myself. I can only see my name.
There's a little button. If you look on the screen, there's somewhere you can press.
Yeah,
press.
I've done that, and I disappear
Hi,
completely.
Vicky.
My name disappeared completely then.
When you go to the top
Just a
right
moment.
corner of your webcam, there are 3 little dots, and then when you press on that, it's got an option to start your webcam. So let me see what it says. If I click on that, it says start video. And then if you press on that, that will start your
I
webcam.
haven't had to do that before.
Oh, there you are.
You see, you're all right. I can see you now. Yes, sometimes
I
the
can see
webcam
me
comes
now.
on straight away, but sometimes it doesn't. Miguel, hi. So amazing that you could make it. Vicky, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Carlos. Age of Aquarius. Hiya.
Hi.
Hello. We're not starting yet because we're still waiting for some more people to join, so we can have a little bit of a chat before we make a start. Miguel, how are you? I think you've frozen.
Are you in?
I can't see who's speaking there, but I'm in Bury. Oh, sorry, Jennifer.
Are you? Are you just
Yeah.
down the road from me?
Really? Oh, I'm in Elton, so I'm just up from Burrs Country Park.
I'm in Bury as well.
No way.
Yeah, I'm in Tottington.
Oh my God, that's literally round the corner
Down
from
the road, yeah.
road. Oh, we'll have to meet up. You know,
Yeah.
when everything opens up, we'll go for a coffee or something. That'll be
Yeah, that
fantastic.
would be great.
Yeah. How amazing is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit further away. I'm in Chadderton.
Chadderton, okay, that's not far
Not
at all.
far.
No.
I used to read at Bleak Holt on their open days.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I ended up in the goat barn and it was freezing and it stunk. So I kind of gave that up.
We just got our cat from Bleak Holt. She's a rescue cat. Yeah, she's doing fantastic. She's
Good.
really happy in her new home. So we did a good thing last year.
Yeah,
Lucky the little one. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, she'll be in good hands with you, won't she?
Hi, Alison. Hi, Miguel. Can you hear me now? Oh, we got 2 Alisons. Hi to both Alisons. Oh, hi, Miguel. I can see your message in the chat. So we're going to be using the chat box today. Are you all acquainted with it? So,
Yeah.
Yes.
if you're not, if you go down to the bottom of your screen and you see you've got some controls, the chat one is the one in the middle. And if you press that, it opens up the chat. So you might all want to just typing into it.
If you're on an iPad, then your controls are at the top right and you have to click on the 3 dots and then the chat, and it will come and obliterate the whole screen, which is kind of pesky, but there you have it.
Thank you, Vicky.
So we got a way around that as well. And I was thinking, as we're going through, you might want to make some notes of the insights that you discover from the cards that you're going to use. So when we're moving through the presentation, and if I ask you to type something in, if you've not got that option, it could be that you just write something down on your paper and hold it up to the screen so we can see it and interact that way. So yeah, what before we start, what I'd like you to do is to get a pack of cards, and I'd like you to have your majors in order from the full through to the world. So we could be doing that in the meantime while we're waiting for the rest of the people to join.
I like your hat.
Thank you so much.
Really good.
My festival hat, and I usually have it on while I'm doing tarot workshops up in Scotland, but we didn't have one last year because we were in lockdown, so this has just been gathering dust. I've had to blow the dust off it.
Janine, how do you want to play this then? Do you just want questions through the chat, or do you want people to speak out?
What do you think? I think if we do it speaking out, people might speak over each other by mistake, or because I can watch at the same time. What do you think?
Well, we're normally quite well behaved, so it's up to you. But if you want, I can put everybody on mute, and then if you want to talk, you have to wave or something.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do it like that then. Let's just, we'll just talk as we go through, because to be honest, I feel more comfortable doing that because it's a two-way thing and it's not just me talking on the screen.
No, that's fine. Okay, so if I put everyone on mute, then Janine, you might have to mute yourself. Let's see if I can do it. No, if everyone can mute themselves, that would be really helpful. Janine, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry,
there we go. Okay, start when you're ready. I'll mute myself.
Have we got everybody in, Jennifer? What I'm going to do then is, if we've got everybody in, I'm going to share my screen. So once I've shared my screen, I'd just like you to all give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can see it. Yeah? Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay. So if anybody else joins us over the next 5 minutes, we'll just catch them up as they come on. But I think I'm going to make a start. So I just open this up. So it's full screen. Again, can you all see that? Just give me a thumbs up. Brilliant. Fantastic. This is very exciting. Okay, so my name's Janine Worthington, for those that don't know me, and I've got some friends on here as well. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, and thank you again to Jennifer for giving me the opportunity to speak. And I'm going to be taking you through the InBetween Tarot Fool's Journey. Okay, so I've been doing tarot for a long time. I picked up when I was a kid. I actually found a pack of tarot cards under the floorboards, which were the Thoth Tarot, when I was a child, and I began to learn more and more about them. I got the Russell Grant Tarot deck, and then I just carried on with my experience doing tarot courses, and then eventually I moved on to tarot training up in the Lake District. So I've been working with tarot for a long time, and some of you already know I've just brought out my own deck, and I'm going to show you the cards as we're going through and explain their purpose. So what I want to do,
When I'm done, okay?
what I'm going to do tonight is take you, well, tonight from my end, but for other people it's first thing in the morning, and for other people it's later. So thanks for joining me from all around the world. I'm going to be taking you through the Major's journey, and then we're going to be looking at the in-between stages between the major cards. So we're considering that the Fool's journey is cyclic, okay? And we can go through the Fool's journey many times in a lifetime. So we start at the Fool. Our Fool is our beginning point, and then we move all the way through to the World, which is our culmination, and then we start again. So we could go through it lots of different times. An example is when we start school for the very first time. We are the Fool, we're setting off on a new journey. And then we're moving through all our different experiences until we get to our very, very last day at school, which is the world. And then we start again with the Fool on our next point in life. So we'll be doing this Fool's journey many, many times. Okay. But what I wanted to do when I started out with my InBetween tarot deck was to explore how one card will move across to the next card. Okay, so fill in those gaps. How the Fool moves through to the Magician, how the Judgment card moves through to the World, and how the World cycles all the way back to the Fool again. So we'll be working with the majors today, which is why I've asked you to keep those major cards ordered. But in the full deck, we've got the minors as well, and they're ace through to the 10 and back to the ace again in all 4 elements. And then the court cards are also cyclic in their different families. So remembering that cyclic energy and that movement. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to unmute at the point where we do our in-between stage, and I want you to tell me what you think the next step will be. Okay, so how we get from the Fool through to the Magician. What's your idea? Okay, and how can you relate to it? So you might want to make some notes, like I said, with pen and paper, jot your insights down. And then at the very end of the presentation, we're going to do a fun exercise to pull a card to see where you are on your journey at the moment. And we're going to consider the in-between stages with that as well. So it's going to be roughly around an hour, but it may just spill over. Okay. And then there's time for questions at the end as well. Okay, brilliant. So I'll make a start. Okay, so when I first started out with the in-between tarot majors back in 2013, what I wanted to do was to explore those spaces between the tarot cards. Okay, so I've always been interested in making connections. And one of the stories that really drew me to this was The Magician's Nephew, which is by C.S. Lewis. And in this book, the children put on the rings, the magical rings belonging to their uncle, and it takes them into this in-between land where there's lots of different pools of water. And in these pools of water, they can go into all different kinds of lands. So I saw this as the major cards, the water pools, and going into all these different energies. And then you're always able to return back to this in-between space, this place where you can make those connections. So I've always been interested in making connections. So let's make a start on our journey. Okay, the Fool. So the Fool is numbered 0, isn't it? This is our very, very first step on our journey when we're considering what we're going to do. And we've got the butterfly there, which represents our transformation of our situation and our fresh, clean, blank slate where we can do anything that we want to at this stage. It's an absolutely fantastic starting point for anything. Okay, and with our Fool, you can see that the person is really innocent and there's that element of vulnerability there as well. So I'm using my maroon deck here for my majors cards. And I would like you to tell me, looking at the next card, the Magician, how you think we can get from the Fool to the Magician. What would be our connecting energy? What would be our next step? And if you'd like to unmute and volunteer your thoughts on that. What do you think the Fool has to do in order to get across to the Magician? So the connecting the cards from one to the other is actually quite difficult because it's not been done before. So it's a completely new concept. Let's have a look at it. So the next card. This is the in-between card which connects the Fool to the Magician. So you can see on the right side of the card, we've got the Fool, and then on the left side, we've got the Magician. And what connects the Fool to the Magician is he's actually taken flight. So he's made that jump now, he's made that leap of faith. So before he was still on the cliff and he was deciding on what he was going to do. Oh, I can't see the chat box. I've just been told to look at my chat box. 1 second. Chat box. I can't see it. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to get this chat box up. I can't see it at the moment because I've got my screen. How do I enable that?
I'm not sure you can see your chat if you are screen sharing. That's just my guess.
Oh.
I'll bring my laptop, use my laptop to see the chat.
All right, okay. I'm being given a laptop so I can see the chat box. That's great. Thank you. I didn't realize. We'll do it that way. Thank you.
So this is me.
Right, okay. Well, gosh, I've got 2 different screens now. I can do that, that's fine. It's moved me on through a few different slides. Oh my word. Right, hang on. I'm going to stop this share and then I'll do it again.
I'm going to log on my phone.
Okay. Right, bear with me, everybody. I'll get back to where I was. I can't see anything now. The Zoom's completely disappeared. Gosh, right. Jennifer, are you there? The Zoom has disappeared for me completely.
If you can see a little white camera in a blue circle.
Yeah, I can. I'm bringing that up and it's not bringing back anything now.
Have you got?
I might have to rejoin. Do you think?
You can try that, yeah.
Okay, I will rejoin.
Okay, see you tomorrow. That would be marvelous.
I can see everybody now.
Oh, good. We can't see you.
I'm coming up now. Okay, I'm there.
Good. Can you see the chat box now?
Yes, I've got it on the other screen.
Excellent. You should be okay now. Right, I'll shut up now. Thank you.
Thanks. It's saying that you've disabled the screen sharing, which I can't seem to use.
That's because you disappeared. Let me get you back. Hang on.
Thank you. Sorry about this, everyone. We'll get back on track in a moment.
Don't worry, it's part of the fun. Just part of the fun.
Right, you should be able to do it now, Janine.
Thank you. Fab. I'll get it back up. Right, okay, so I've looked at what everybody said, and we're moving across from the Fool to the Magician, and we've got some great ideas. So Joe said the underworld journey. Alex has said jump off the cliff, step off the cliff, take a step into the unknown. Taking a chance, yeah, definitely. So he didn't know where he was going. Okay, he took that chance to actually make that leap of faith. And I've done that several times in my life as well. It's really nerve-wracking. So for example, training and teaching, I was never expecting to feel so vulnerable, nervous and shy when I taught in front of a class for the first time. And that was that fool's leap, that leap into the unknown and moving through to that energy of the magician. So we're getting closer to the magician, and the magician is all about using his tools and his personal power and making things happen. Okay, so this is when we're using our energy and we're actually directing that energy and making exciting things happen. This is where the magic comes in. So let's move across to the magician. And using my maroon deck, I love the maroon deck because I love the contrast with the dark and the light. And here we can see the magician stood in front of the water, and he's actually transforming the movement of the water. So the water representing emotions here. So he's able to do those powerful things. So those things that the fool was really nervous about doing, you know, and then he stepped off that cliff and he made that leap of faith, and now able to kind of stand there and use the tools at his disposal, the elements, to actually make things happen, which is really fantastic. So a question to you now, if you have a peek at the next card, okay, in succession, what do you think your next step will be? So how can we get from the magician to the next card? What are your thoughts on it? So this could be keywords. It could be related to your own experiences. So we've got a connection through watery elements. That's from Andy and Mary. Okay. Trust, definitely. So that's a big one here, trust. Trusting in ourselves as well and trusting in our abilities. What else have we got? Trust the self, yeah. Mind and heart, okay. Self-belief, definitely. Self-belief is a really big one here, especially with the magician. Transformation from activity to stillness. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff going on with the magician. Let's see. So this is my depiction of what the in-between state from the magician to the high priestess will be. Okay, so yours may be different. And the fun thing with these cards is everybody's intuition, everybody's depiction of what goes on in the cards is different. But when you've got standalone cards, okay, they tend to have you with set meanings for the cards. But when you start introducing these in-between concepts, you kind of put your own stamp on it because you sort of see where things are starting to flow. Okay, you're going along with the journey and you're putting your own interpretation in there. So here we've got the magician moving through to the high priestess. This is that connecting energy. This is that in-between space. And we've got some really good ones for you there, using your intuition. Transformation from activity to stillness. So yeah, definitely. So he's going inside now, okay? We see him holding that cup, that watery cup, that intuition. We've got the moon in there as well. So he's definitely that element of slowing down, of stillness, of going inside to discover what's happening. We've got the triple goddess there engraved in the stone as well. So the feminine, the emphasis on the feminine and emphasis on feminine, female intuition. Okay, so the magician is entering a different realm. He's been using his power outwardly, and now he's using his power inwardly. So we're going into a more spiritual realm. Okay, so the magician through to the high priestess. Let's have a look at our high priestess, and I want you to look at yours as well. We've got a very high, powerful high priestess here. So she is using her intuition, and she's actually stood at the base of a very big establishment. She's using her magic powers, okay? And the High Priestess has always come up in points of my life to put an emphasis on spirituality, okay? And at soul searching as well. It's a very, very powerful card. And I want to look at how you will move from the High Priestess to the energy of the Empress. How do you think we can make that movement? What do you think our next step is there? Okay, so Lucy's talking about the subconscious. Okay, so moving across to the Empress, we're looking into our subconscious. Embodied intuition from Sally. Grounding ourselves, yeah, definitely. Okay, so that energy of the Empress is changing the energy of the High Priestess. Accepting our body sexuality, so yeah, we're becoming more earthy with that introduction of the Empress and the earth energy and the energy of Taurus as well, and Venus. Acceptance of ourselves, acceptance of what's going on around us, acceptance of other people. So from that inward energy of the High Priestess, we're starting to look outside ourselves. So let's see what that looks like. And Joe said the spiritual to the earthly, definitely. And that's what I thought of with this next card. So this is my in-between card, moving from the High Priestess to the Empress. And we've got a baby. So I actually designed this card when I was pregnant with my little one, who is now 9. And I thought about the energy of the baby being inside the womb, that very special connection with the baby, and the butterflies there symbolizing the transformation of the baby coming out of the womb and into the world with that earthy energy of the Empress. And Venus as well. So the ability to love another, but the ability to love ourselves as well. So it's not always the card of the mother. It's about how you love and nurture yourself, as well as how you love and nurture other people. So you can see that connection there, because the card is split definitively right down the middle, and the umbilical cord is there, and that's the separating energy. So we've got that connecting card between the High Priestess and the Empress. So usually if you have those cards sat alongside each other, you know the meanings for each one, but you just want that connection between the two. How do you get from one to the other? Okay, so thank you. And finally, yeah, internal instinct made manifest through creation. I love that one. The spiritual to the earthly. That's good, yeah. Okay, thank you. So our next card in the Major's Phil's journey is the Empress. Okay, so we've moved across now. And we've got the Empress depicted here as a mother, what she's looking out over her domain. Okay, so she has got that internal mothering instinct, that nurturing energy. Okay, and I experienced this as a new mother for the first time, and I didn't find these lessons really, really easy. I found mothering was quite a difficult concept at times, especially that I had to fit in the time to look after myself as well as look after others. Okay, so the Empress has got a lot going on within that card. Okay. The spiritual aspect of the High Priestess has kind of moved on to kind of grounding ourselves, looking after practical things, looking after ourselves, and the ability to love. So the next card is the Emperor. How do you think that we can move across from the Empress to the Emperor? What would be your key words? What are your thoughts on how we get from one to the other? So remember, we're not considering them separate. We've got this flow going. Let's see what you say. This one's a difficult one. Grounding. Okay, yeah. Abundance to austerity. That's interesting. a real sense of leading in a practical way, okay? Combining divine feminine energy and masculine energy to build our empire. So I love that one, yeah. So you've got the feminine aspect and you've got the masculine aspect, you've got that balance. And connecting with Mother Earth, flow into solid matter, yeah, okay. Courage, definitely. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. So we're here, we've got the Empress moving through to the Emperor now. Okay, and they're sharing that, that Venus symbol. Okay, so they're sharing that energy, they're sharing that power. So we've got that equal balance of the female and the masculine right there in the card. The Empress and the Emperor are now in the same card. Okay, and we've got them depicted as rulers. We've got them as king and queen, and then we've got the children underneath. So there is that aspect of family as well, and how they share their different roles within the family. So to me, it looks like there is a little bit of a conflict here. So is there that balance, you know? Is she trying to take charge or is he trying to take charge? What do you think when you're looking at this card? I see the kids being a bit unruly as well. So we have got different values there, haven't we? The Empress, grounding, mothering, earthly energy. And the Emperor is very much about leading, okay? There's that aspect of control in there as well. So Chloe's saying an agreement. Okay, so they're actually coming to an agreement here. Okay. Needing compromise. I love that one. Okay, so the ability to compromise, to get on with each other, to learn from each other as well. Okay, and then to pass those values down to other people. It looks as if they are going to have a set to, right? Okay, so yeah, maybe they're going to have a fight or an argument, or there's a bit of a power struggle going on there. So it's really interesting how you all see different things and how you move from one card to the next. Okay. Moving along this journey myself, I have been in that position, you know, as a mum, I wanted everything to go my way. But then my partner had different ideas on that. So, you know, you have got to compromise. It's not all about control with the Emperor. Sometimes you need to give way. Okay, so let's look at our Emperor. It's Aries, and we're moving into Aries energy at the moment. I'm an Aries myself. I do like this card. And I must admit, I do like to be in control of my situation. And when things are out of my control, like my Zoom controls just then, you know, I feel slightly panicky. And that's what happens with Aries. They have that fiery need to kind of control everything around them. It can be a good thing. It can be a good when they're in a leadership position like our Emperor here. But sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming for other people. So the Emperor energy, there's a fine balance of it, isn't there? Whether he's trying to lead the team, lead the people around him, or whether he's trying to control them. So we have got that positive aspect to it and that negative aspect to it. So considering the Emperor is Aries and our next card is the Hierophant is Taurus. How do you see the Emperor moving into the Hierophant? What are your keywords here? What's your flow? So Joe said a fight's going to break out with that last card. So where's our meeting point with our Emperor and Hierophant? The temporal to the spiritual, definitely, yeah. We've got that spiritual element with the Hierophant. Authority within society and structure, yeah, okay. Agreeing boundaries, Rebecca said. Okay, so we've got that, that balance again between those two energies and finding that correct balance, finding that right balance. Pilgrimage, that's an interesting one. I like that one. And passing on received wisdom. I like that one too. Let's have a look. So the Emperor to the Hierophant, look what we've got here. We've got two different groups of people on the hilltop. We've got our Aries team, Team Aries, and then we've got Team Taurus on the other one. Taurus is related to their Hierophant, which is about our structure, our values. It can also have a connotation with religion as well. And Aries on the other one is the leaders. They just want to go for things. They want to get things out of the way. Quite fiery, passionate people. So they're both very different in their nature. And the way I saw this as connecting is the very small baby steps that you have to take with any completely different personality in order to reach some kind of an agreement. So we've got the chessboard at the bottom. Imagine these like pawn pieces, okay, meeting each other. What would they say to each other? What would Aries and Taurus say to each other? So my husband's a Taurus, and sometimes it's a bit of a battle of wills with the Aries and the Taurus energy. Okay, but we go places. We do, because there's such a drive behind both of the zodiac signs. Okay, so it's quite a powerful card. There's a lot going on in this card. And we've got a bit of a Lord of the Rings style to it here. So we've got that built into the cliffs. We've got the Emperor on one side and we've got the Hierophant on the other side. These big personalities. And Sally said, working together to find common ground. That is definitely what I was looking for with this one. Yeah. Follow what is expected by society. Thanks, Miguel. Yeah. Okay, so conformist. Yeah, the Hierophant and Taurus are a bit more able to follow the rules than Aries. Aries is a bit more of a breaker of rules, definitely. Leading with the carrot, the stick, all structures and traditions, yeah. The Aries side could definitely use some humbleness. It's true, though. It is true. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and possibly one of the most outspoken ones. You know, they just speak without thinking sometimes. And that can be the case with our Emperor. They do sometimes hurt other people's feelings because they just speak out and when they shouldn't always do. So I can't see you all at the moment, which is a shame because I have to have these slides up, but I am reading your comments at the side. Okay, so here's our Hierophant, okay? We've got the Emperor out of the picture now, and our Hierophant stood in front of, looks like a church, could be a religious establishment, but this can also be like our universities, our schools, anywhere where there's big structure in place, where there's rules, where there's policies, regulation. Taurus likes to have structure and order. They need it. Aries loves chaos. They absolutely adore chaos. So this is a different type of energy. And we can see him stood there and he's got that knowledge and that wisdom. Okay, so this is the card of a guide, somebody you'd want to go to speak to. How do you think we can move from our Hierophant to your next card of the Lovers? So take a peek at your next card and let me know how you think we can make that flow. What's the next step? Okay, so learning to interact with others. And we've got a completely different energy coming up here with the Lovers, which is our Gemini connotation. So Andy and Mary, finding balance between two opposites, making harmonious choices. Okay. Choosing a path following previous guidance, opening heart, sharing feelings, relaxing boundaries, and compromise. Okay. So let's have a look. Here we've got the Hierophant and the Lovers in the same card. Okay, so he's come down his path to meet and do a hand fasting for the couple who are relying on him for the next steps. Okay, what is the wisdom that he's imparting to this couple, the advice that he is giving to them for their lifelong journey together? And Joe is saying the groundedness of Taurus to the airiness of Gemini. So we've got that communication aspect here, definitely. And from the way a spiritual system mandates one life to the way humans can't live by the letter of the law. Interesting. It did get long, but it was deep and necessary. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in that card, and you can see him holding the book that's got the Taurus glyph on there. Okay, so he is imparting that wisdom to our Gemini couple with the communication. So putting the astrology in there sometimes helps to give a different perspective to the cards, because the Hierophant in traditional sense, the Rider-Waite, for example, is a very religious figure, okay? But here it's slightly different because we're using Taurus. So that's where your intuition comes in. And that's why it's good to get the flow of the cards to kind of put your own stamp, your own ideas on the cards. So it makes the meanings of the traditional cards less rigid. So let's look at our Lovers card. Using the Maroon Tarot again, we've got the emphasis on communication here. So there is the aspect of love, but how you communicate love with yourself and another person, or possibly the two different halves of yourself. Are you in balance within yourself? Are you communicating effectively with what you need? Have you found the person that you're able to communicate with on a lifelong basis? So I've always struggled with this side of things. Going back to the Aries, you know, we're not very compromising. And in a situation where there's two people, two friends, two family members, you have to be able to see eye to eye in order to get that communication aspect. It's really, really important and necessary. So Gemini definitely is definitely a big part of it here, and Gemini being an air sign. So it's all about our communication, our mental activity, and how we get those things across to the other person. So how do you think we can move from the Lovers to our next card? And our next card here is the Chariot. How do we take our Lovers energy through to the Chariot? Have a look at your cards, use the symbols, and use your knowledge of the cards to make that transition. Moving forward with passion. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so we have got that movement now. And consider how interesting it is that Cancer, which is related to the Chariot, moves sideways, but our Chariot moves forwards. Okay, so we've got that conflict with movement there, haven't we? But it is all about movement. Love can't be unrestrained and passion has to be balanced. Yeah, emphasis on balance again. Okay. I love dream work. So with the Chariot, always figures in my dreams. I'm always in a car. My car is very telling of my emotions at any one moment, because either the wheels are falling off, or I have a car crash, or I'm able to effectively drive my car through my dreams. It's all very telling of my mental state. So that's where the Chariot figure's quite big for me. I know how I'm feeling in myself when the Chariot appears in my dreams. Choice is made and the focus is ahead, definitely. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got our Lovers, and the Lovers are now part of a family. Okay, so we've got an extra family member. And you can see the Cancer glyph, which is on the seat that the child is sitting on, and that indicates the protection aspect of the Chariot. Okay, so we're protecting what we love, we're protecting what we care about. And you can see that our Lovers female is at the front, she's championing, and she's kind of doing that protective role, as is the masculine energy, which is stuck behind with the Chariot wheel. Okay, so we now have a different kind of setup. Okay, and they are taking that energy forward as a family. Yeah. So let's have a look at our Chariot. Fantastic. Chariot here with the Maroon Tarot. I do love this deck. So we can see we've got one of the Lovers couple. Okay, so remember this is the Fool's Journey as well. So this is also us in that Chariot. So we're pushing forward, okay? We're pushing forward. And remember the Cancer energy moving sideways. Sometimes our energy can grind to a halt. Sometimes we may have to take a diversion. But with this card, all our energy is kind of focused in getting things done. Okay, it's a very, very powerful card, and there's movement in there as well. So if this turns up, it's generally when your life's been given a bit of a shake. Okay. So how do you think we can get from the Chariot to the next card, which is Strength? And this is our next zodiac sign with Leo. Slow the pace. Yeah, definitely. Overcoming obstacles and being patient. Yeah, that's what we have to do. Facing fears. Thanks, Miguel. And Sally says gently holding on to the reins. Okay, so taking a softer approach maybe. Perseverance. Yeah, definitely sticking with it. Okay, sticking with your guns. Let's see what that looks like. So now we've got the Chariot to the Strength, and yes, we are slowing down. Okay, so we've got the focus on the candles there. It's even like a meditative stance here. Okay, so he's actually getting to the point where he needs to slow down. He needs to kind of focus on developing that inner strength, that intuition. And we've got Leo featured in the glyph in the sky. Okay, so we've got that Leo emphasis on leadership. Okay, the leadership focus. Leo is generally very outgoing and often featured in leadership positions. And Nori has said courage. Courage is very, very important within this card. Okay, so we've moved slower. We've focused inwards. We've slowed down and we're moving through to the Strength card. And here we are in Strength. We've actually got a fist punching through a building here. But it's not the physical strength that we're interested in here. It's that internalized inner strength, okay, which we develop from experience and perhaps putting ourselves in difficult situations. So going again to training for me, very, very shy person, standing in front of people and teaching. Okay, I found it really difficult. I found it hard. And I had to keep doing it and doing it and doing it in order to gain that inner confidence and that strength and belief in myself in order to push forward and do that. So this card is very meaningful for me in terms of developing a sense of self, a sense of worth. The next card is the Hermit. How do you think we get from the Strength to the Hermit? Have a look at your next card. Look at the symbols. Have a think about the different feel to the two cards. How would you make that movement? Self-reflection. Okay, yeah. Realizing that there's more to the world, yeah. Assimilating all the experiences so far on our journey. Withdrawing. Okay, so all of these saying that we're going inside, we're standing back and we're considering our path to date. Okay, thank you. Look, our Hermit, our Fool, is actually going inside the mountain now. So the mountain represents our spiritual experience. In dream work, they've always come up to me to represent important spiritual goals. Okay, so I'm either climbing the mountain or I'm choosing my pathway up the mountain. I've never ever stood on top of the mountain, but I always consider it as like a very spiritual aspect. Joe saying being gentle can be hard and painful, and the Hermit is the reflection on the meaning of that pain. Definitely. Okay, so we have got that reflective energy there. Yeah, so he's going inside, he's taking that strength within, that inner strength, and he's moving inwards. So we're going to learn more about ourselves, what's going on within us at this point. Let's look at our Hermit. We've got a very serious Hermit in our maroon tarot card here. He's holding that guiding light, okay, which is a guiding light not only to other people, but also to himself, and to remember that he has that inside him to rely on. Okay, and the Hermit's a fantastic card. I actually do love being alone, spending time alone, doing meditation, yoga, learning more about the tarot, etc. Like all the spiritual things that we do. And I find that the last year has been fantastic to really get involved in those spiritual activities, because I've had that time to be on my own and to kind of reflect. So how do you think we can get from the Hermit to the Wheel of Fortune? Have a look at your next card. What is that next step? Self-realization, says Sally. Yeah. We're making notes like crazy. Yeah, it's great because everybody has a different thought on how they can make that movement, which I find so interesting. It's not just what's stated in a book. This is what the card's about. No, everybody's got different thoughts on it. And I always believe that it's the tarot reader and their intuition that's the most important part of the reading rather than the cards. They're just a conduit, but we're the people who use the intuition to do the reading. So this is the most important part. So engaging with the world, contemplation requires an understanding of cycles. Some changes are about to happen, accepting what we did in the past so we can move on. Loosening grips on goals. Yeah, I think you love this. You all love this stage. Cycles repeating, but deeper understanding each time. Okay, thank you. So here we've got our Hermit moving through to the energy of the wheel. And we've got the Hermit sat on a musical board with the notes, suggesting that they've got that harmonious aspects within themselves now. You know, the spiritual side of themselves realized that balance occurring, that important spiritual balance. And we see him there in like a meditative stance. But at the same time, the elements are now appearing around that musical board, which means that his external choices are starting to open up. We've got some doorways here. So I don't know if any of you have seen the Donnie Darko film with the different portals. Okay, I like to see this stage as a bit of a portal opportunity. This is where your choices are coming. Joe loves that movie. I do, I like that one. And sliding doors is a good one that's quite applicable here. Gwyneth Paltrow. So she gets on the train in one scene, and in the next scene, she decides not to get on the train, and that splits her life off into two different pathways. So interesting as to how many sliding doors moments we may have had in our life. Okay, so things like if you choose to go to university or not, choose to have children or not, you know, it all takes your life in different directions. So interesting. Butterfly effect. Oh yeah, all those films. I love those films. Yeah, that was from Andy. Thank you. So the Hermit has got some choices now. Let's see what's next. And here we've arrived at the Wheel of Fortune. So this is where the wheel starts turning. This is our cyclic energy. This is our day-to-day stuff. This is the unexpected stuff. So my Zoom moment before, I wasn't expecting that. I made loads of notes tonight on what I couldn't expect, but I didn't expect for my screen to fail on my side. So, you know, we have got those wheel of changes coming in every single day. And we just got to deal with them as they come around. We have no choice about it. So this is where all the things we've learned in the previous cards, like developing our inner strength, focusing on our spiritual side, comes in, because we're not dealing with it in the Wheel of Fortune stage chaotically. We're actually on a good level, you know, where we're quite balanced within ourselves. So here we see our Fool, still on the Fool's journey, looking into the Wheel of Fortune. What's my next step going to be? Will it twist one way or will it twist the other? Am I going to have good luck today or bad luck? It's the luck of the draw with the Wheel of Fortune. How do you think that we can get from the Wheel of Fortune to justice? Okay, now put these two cards next to each other and it may look like completely isolated events, but there must be a way of joining Wheel of Fortune to justice. How do we get there? So Alex has said by accepting the outcomes of those choices. Brilliant, okay. Finding balance, yeah, that's from Miguel, thank you. Choices reflecting our life experience and wisdom. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Sally. Picking when to let go and when to guard yourself. I love that. Yeah, that's being really smart and switched on. So let's see what that looks like. And Joe said the cycles of life need balance and something to bring order and meaning to them, a social structure. Okay, so I've got my pumpkin here. I did do this photograph at Halloween. But what I wanted this card to represent from the Wheel through to Justice is that path. You can see the Fool's Path winding all the way through it. And this takes me back to the film of The Planet of the Apes, where you've got the Statue of Liberty half buried in the sand. When I was a kid, that stage in that film really frightened me. And I always remembered that, that view of the Statue of Liberty being half buried. And then I was reflecting on what that meant, you know, and the fact that the justice element of it was very, very important there. And we've got Libra here with the balance. So this is where our choices, for good or for bad, are taking us in the direction of justice. So justice could be kind, depending on what we've chosen to do, or justice could be harsh, depending on what we've chosen to do. Okay. So this is a very important stage for us to deal with. And Andy said, what an image. Yeah, the half-buried Statue of Liberty. Definitely memorable. For a little kid, it can be quite frightening. That it always stuck in my mind. And it's always the one thing that stands out when I think of the Justice card. Yeah, it's a menacing pumpkin. Thank you. So let's look at Justice. We've got that Justice sword, the sword of truth, the sword of communicating effectively. Remember, our Ace of Swords in our minors means clarity, okay? And we've got that going through the growth of the tree. Okay, that's everything that we're learning at this stage. Justice, clarity, communicating effectively. But as Chloe said, dealing with your choices as well. And picking when to let go and when to guard yourself. I love that. Okay. And accepting what we've done. Okay. And also things like atonement as well. How are we atoning for our choices? Did we make the right choices? All things to consider here. It's a big card. Okay. How do you think we can get from Justice to the Hanged Man? Here's another one where you put those cards together, maybe from the Rider-Waite deck, and they look completely different. How would you make that transition? Moving on, yeah. Letting go and moving on. Being a just person often requires sacrifice. I like that one, definitely. That's a good way of moving from that card to the next. Looking from the perspective of others, yeah. So we are suspending judgment and we are looking at things in an altered perspective, accepting the sacrifices that have been made. Thanks, Miguel. Staying still in front of the laws of the universe. I love that. Thank you. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so now, do you remember that saying, a justice is a dish best served cold? Okay, so now we can see that justice decision, okay, whether for good or for bad, the outcome of that is now playing out to the Hanged Man, okay? And the Hanged Man is there being carried by other people, but the point is that he has no control over what happens at this stage. He just has to suspend judgment, okay? He has to stay still. It is a sacrifice, okay? And we have those times in our lives where we have to just wait, okay? And I think Chloe said it very well with moving on, okay? Sometimes we just have to let things go that we have no control over. So I'm going through this court thing at the moment where I had a car crash. A woman crashed into the back of me. I wasn't at fault, and I'm having to go through the court to try and get they're trying to get the money back and everything. It's an absolute nightmare. Nothing I can do about it. I just have to wait for the outcome. So difficult stage, but I'm learning a lot about myself going through this process. I'm learning that I'm not very patient, but I'm learning to be patient. Okay. And I'm learning to accept things as well. So let's look at our hangman. It's as we expected. I think you will all have very similar things on your cards. We've got the person who is looking at things from a different perspective. He's hanging there, he's waiting, okay? And it's a sacrifice, okay? And it's a difficult thing to do, to see things from that altered perspective. How do you think we get from the hanged man to death? What have we got for this in-between stage? Have a look at your next card. Consider the symbols and the feel of the card, how it feels to you as well. Being prepared to let go and leave behind, accepting change and need to let go of the past. Massively important. Submitting. Yeah, sometimes that's what we need to do. Change of perspective has brought a new version of us and we need to let go of the old. Sacrificing and altering our perspective changes us, which feels like a death in many ways. Okay, so if you read for other people, this is probably one of the most feared cards of the deck, but it doesn't, for me, represent a physical death. For me, this hanged man in this card and the wicker man behind represents the ego. And the fire is stripping away the ego and taking us back to basics. Okay, so we're becoming humble. Okay, we're letting go of that sense of me, I. There is more to us than that. Okay, we are shedding skin. Okay, we're becoming different people. We're not the same people that we were at the start of the Fool's journey. We've been through a lot of experiences at this point. Okay, so the fire, it looks scary, but fire is about transmutation, change of circumstances, okay, and the fire is transformative, which is the purpose of death. Our life after death Buddhist transformation, come back, cyclic, yeah. Let's move on to death, okay. I love this card. It's a card of surrendering, okay. The ego is gone at this stage. We are back to basics, okay? And death is the change, the long awaited change, the transformation of circumstances over a long period of time is our Scorpio energy as well. A very deep transformation at a very deep level. How do you think we get from our death card to our temperance card? Have a look at your next card. The temperance card, by the way, is the one card in the deck that I've always found it difficult to get my head around. Everybody's got like a sticking point with a certain card, and for me it's temperance. Getting yourself together, okay? Miguel says, working and blending with the new life. Yeah. The flow. Yeah, the flow. Thanks, Cheryl. Connecting back to our emotions to find balance, says Moran. Yeah. Thank you. Let's have a look. Death to temperance. Okay. So we are letting go at this point. We have got the eagle, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay. We have got our transformed self. Okay. So there is that alchemical side of things here. And you can still see the temperance figure in the clouds in the background, that angel doing the mixing of the water, the balance, the mixing of our emotions, our inner self. Okay, so we've now changed. There is no people in this card. It's just simply energy. Okay. Let's have a look at temperance. My sticking point card, but maybe it's because it's all about balance. Balance within self, that temperance. Okay. There is also an aspect of health in this one, but there's more going on like that. It's like the Reiki energy flow with our chakra points, you know. Are we balanced within ourselves? Okay. Are we looking after ourselves? Okay. Do we feel balanced? Okay. There is all of that aspected in this card. And we've got the green colours as well, about growth and health again. So how do you think we can move from Temperance, where we're balanced, to the Devil? They're two very different cards. Do we even want to go there? Oh, thanks, Joe. I need to remember the author of the Maroon Tarot. I will find that at some point. I do like these cards. And so Chloe says temptation, yeah. And Miguel says confronting your demons. Okay, so maybe we do want to go there because some people like to do shadow work, don't they? Some people do shadow work. Being careful not to lose balance and get lost in temptations. Okay, so you are definitely getting the grips with this one. Passion, okay? Passion can be unexpected. Okay, sometimes something could come along and knock us off our feet. Whether we should go for that or not is another matter. I love shadow work. I need more time for it, really. Temperance gets boring for a species who is ever changing. That's the nail on the head, isn't it? We're human beings. Okay, we're always being challenged. Okay, and none of us are perfect. We've all had these moments of temptation and challenge. Let's go there. We're there. So now we've got our lovers again, Adam and Eve, picking the forbidden fruit from the tree. Okay, they know they shouldn't do it. They've been told they shouldn't do it. Don't touch. It's like the thing with the fire when I was a kid. Don't touch the fire. You mustn't touch the fire. And you still do it. And when you get burnt, you realise that you shouldn't have done it. Okay, so we have got the devil in the background. Okay, everybody always sees him as a really bad figure. Okay, but sometimes we do need that excitement in our lives. As human beings, we do. It's just a part of our nature. I'm just reading that. Thank you, Zawarovska is the author of Maroon Tarot. It is out of print. It's difficult to find. I think there's still some on eBay. I couldn't find any on Amazon. I've had my pack for a long time. So Joe, you love how you brought out the connection between this and the lovers. Okay, so sometimes those are difficult choices, aren't they? But it could be anything. We've been in lockdown. We've been told we shouldn't be drinking as much as we are. We shouldn't be eating as much as we are. But we do it because we need to be happy and we need to look after ourselves. And then we consider the consequences later. The fact that I now need to exercise to get rid of this stone that I've put on, it just is part and parcel of it, isn't it? So that's where all this comes into in this card. Temperance, we've got our balance, and then devil just completely knocks that balance out of whack. Okay, and we can see him there, mischievous, about to set fire to that tree. Let's have a look at the devil. He's fun, isn't he? He's not that bad when you look at him. Looks like he's in fancy dress costume there. However, you know, there's serious aspects of it that power and control can sometimes turn into manipulation. Okay, so we can find ourselves in a very, very difficult situation if we upset that fine balance. Okay, and that's where those devil opportunities come in. Do we really want to go there? And the devil has got that connotation with Capricorn. So Capricorn is very, very hard working. Okay, they're very grounded. They're an earth sign. Okay, they will keep going at things until they get the job done. Okay, you know that they can be as stubborn as a goat. That's the Capricorn. But if you push too far in that situation, then you can get an unstable balance. So you could get someone who's completely obsessed with work, okay, and completely out of kilter with the balance that we've moved from temperance. Okay, so we always need to consider that. How do you think we can get from the devil to the tower? Now we're getting into exciting stuff. We've got that Mars energy going with the tower, haven't we? It's explosive. I actually pulled the Tower card for myself this morning and had no idea how it was going to affect me until I had my little Zoom hiccup before. That was my Tower moment. Bang. So burnout. That's what Chloe says. Oh, the Lightseer's Devil. Yeah, I have got that deck, and I love the Devil in that pack. Eventually, excess catches up with us, and our lives are upended, sometimes brutally. Yeah, so we've got that fine balance to consider. Instability. Push things too far when our passions and obsessions are unsustainable. So people could go completely the opposite end of the spectrum, can't they? And then wonder how they're so out of whack they can't get back. When our passions and obsessions are unsustainable, definitely. Let's have a look. What does that look like? So there could have been any kind of story in here, really. You've all got the gist of where that movement is going into. What I've taken here is quite a biblical stance. So this is showing people who are being controlled, manipulated. I think we've got like a slave situation, and we've got the devil sat on a horse there. Okay. He's telling them what they've got to do, where they've got to go, and they're moving forward into that fine glass of the tower, which is about to shatter because of the situation. You can still see the devil up there in the clouds. Okay, and the glass is now covering our tree, our growth. Okay, we need to get to it. So how do we do that? You can see that we've got the Mars energy coming through the top of the card. Okay, that Mars energy with tower directed at the glass, which is about to shatter it. I actually love this stage. I was going to get the tower as a tattoo a long time ago, and I was told not to do it. It wouldn't be a good idea because my life would just be chaotic. So I decided against it, and I got the Ace of Cups in the end. But I do like this this tower stage because it's quite exciting, even though it is a bit dramatic. Depends on if you like that excitement or not. So Joe said, it reminds you of the line in Enigma sound, the gravity of love. And Alex loves that as well. The Aries in you not being able to stay still. I do. I feel the same, and I like changes. I do. Let's have a look at the tower. Look at that, about to fall down. So it's the rug being pulled out from underneath you. It's a very straightforward card, really, isn't it? It's a bit phallic as well, if you look at it. So there is that Mars energy, that passionate energy, but it's also about your stability. Is your stable structure there, okay, or is it about to fall down? And the tower is really unexpected and sudden change, something you weren't preparing for. So how do you think we can get from the tower to the star? Oh, sorry about that, Alison. How can we move through? I also had a very awful period of my life where every pack of cards that I picked up, the tower kept falling out. And I was really, really nervous as to what that pertained to. And then it just suddenly exploded in my face. So yeah, the tower one can be good changes, can be unexpected changes. Sometimes it can be bad changes. So moving forward, having hope that we can overcome whatever happened. Okay, with fresh and stronger foundations. We've hit the bottom, so the only way is up. Yeah, nowhere to go after a drastic change. Up, reassessing and finding hope. Looking up and trusting. Okay, so you've got that. We're moving forward. They've broken through that glass. Okay, the tower's crumbled. Now our tree is on fire. Okay, they can't get back what they've lost, but they're away. Okay, they're moving away from that danger. Devil's moved off now, not even in the sky. And we've got that Aquarius glyph, the Aquarius glyph, which represents our hope. Okay, and there's the star, which they're moving towards. Let's look at the star. How are your stars? This is a beautiful card. In every deck that I have, the star card is beautiful. It's shiny, it's bright, it gives us hope. It's got a very straightforward message. Okay, so where we've had bad times, we've had difficult times, we have this to look forward to, that there is a guiding light, and the light is a guide. Andy and Mary just want me to go back one not a problem. So yes, this is where the glass shattered with the tower energy. And we're starting to enter the realm of the star. So it's suddenly become a lot calmer. They're walking into that calmer space. No problem. And here's our star. There's a waterfall in the background as well. That lovely balancing of emotions. Calm waters, bridge over troubled waters, which is a Simon and Garfunkel song. Eek, I nearly gave that away, so I moved too fast. So how do you think we can get from the star to the moon? We're getting towards the end now. How can we bridge these lovely energies? Remember, we're in the realm of Aquarius at this point. This is a card that trips me up, says Joe. And Chloe says the need to be cautious. Okay, so when the moon comes out, it affects our whole sense of self, doesn't it? We are mostly water. We're really affected by the movement of the tides and the power that the moon has on us. It's massive. We've received signs from the universe and we need to move forward. Overcoming fears. Yeah, definitely interesting. Let's see. So we're in our boat. We're moving away now. We were moving towards the star in the last one. We are now in the realm of the star, but we're approaching the energy of the moon. So we've got some ghost ships alongside us. So it's like things start to get a bit confusing at this point. Okay, and things start to kind of cloud over as well. And this is when we're in the realm of our dreams, our daydreams, like lucid dreaming. Okay, all these other things come in into play. So it's nice if we can move through this stage and we can learn from it spiritually, because it's a very, very powerful stage, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming for some people and they get a bit lost with it. There was a huge harvest moon recently and it had such a lovely energy, Chloe's saying. Yeah, and the point at where we're at with our spring equinox is very, very powerful as well at the moment this weekend. So our moon, everything is confusing by the light of the moon. There's a lot going on, isn't there? But we're not able to access or see everything. We have to feel our way. This is where we're using our intuition. So all the previous stages and the lessons that we've learned have brought us to this stage, okay? We're now relying on our intuition. Okay, so how have we developed that? Are we working with it? Are we in touch with our shadow side? Okay. Important things and questions to ask ourselves. How do you think we get from the moon to the sun? So consider we've got our star, our moon, and our sun card, and how to move between those three different energies. The Fool's doing it on his journey, so how can we do it? Waking up is a good one, yeah. Bam, we're awake. Sleep, yeah. Maybe sleep is doing that internal processing that we need in order to come to terms with everything that's happening. Shining a light on our dreams. Yeah, definitely. Clarification. Yeah, okay, I like that one. Thank you. Trusting, keeping our faith, gaining clarity in life. Okay, thank you. And being grateful, there's always something to make us happy. Thanks, Alex. Gratitude, yeah. And this one, you can see our Fool on his journey as well. He looks grateful, doesn't he? Just happy to be alive. And he's moving out of that energy of the moon into the energy of the sun. And we just got him lying there in the water, just basking in that beautiful energy. It's a nice card. It's a very positive card. The sun is one of my favorite cards. And it's also the ruler of Leo as well. It has an aspect with Aries. So we got that positivity, that confidence. And Alison says, trusting in the rhythm of life. Definitely. Thank you. Look at this sun. How beautiful is that? And the birds are actually drawing that energy around. So it's very simple, straightforward message in this: clarification, positivity, optimism, being able to see everything. Okay, the light, shining a light on things that may have been difficult in your life. How do you think we can get from the sun to judgment? What's that movement? What do those two cards look like? Very different, aren't they? We're coming to the end of a very powerful journey. Judgment is your sticking point card. Shine the light on everything, Joe says, and now it's time to wrestle with our entire journey. What did it mean? Awakening. Oh yeah, awakening. We've learned a lot on this journey. We've been through every single kind of emotional experience, making choices with clear vision. Yeah, thank you. And it's Lucy's favorite, this one. Let's have a look. Sun to the judgment. We still got the sun there, but now we've got the judgment angels, which are bringing forth all that difficult stuff from the past, the stuff that we thought we'd moved on from. Okay, those painful lessons, they've not gone away. How have we dealt with them? You know, is it something that we still need to work on? It could be at this point in the Fool's journey where you have to go back a few steps. Our Fool's journeys in our lifetimes aren't always complete. Sometimes we have to take a couple of steps back to take one step forward. So this point could be a sticking point for some people. Okay, it could be that things come back that they weren't expecting. So what does our judgment card look like? Mine is a door opening, okay, to let those experiences out, okay. We are being judged, but we are also judging ourselves, and sometimes we can be our own worst critic. So this is about atonement. This is about learning from those big lessons in our life. Sometimes we may have made the wrong decisions. Sometimes we may have made the right decisions, and what have we learned from them? This is what this is all about. These are our lessons, our big important lessons. And finally, how do we get from the judgment card to the world? It's not final, actually. This is the second to last card in my cycle. How do we make that movement to the world? What is our very final step? Get your world card, look at the two of them, compare. Let's see what you think. A difficult one, this one. Let's just go for it. Aligning our beliefs with reality and stepping into life. Yes. Acceptance. Yes. Getting ready for another adventure. Yes. Okay. I got that. Thanks, Alex. Knowing the path to full knowledge. I feel like our entire experience meant something and feel like we have some understanding of what it means to be human. Definitely. Okay, so this is, I think, you know, if we are coming back life after life after life in order to perfect ourselves and move up, this is a good depiction of that, you know. This is us with our lessons learned, and we actually moving into our spiritual light. We are on our pathway. We are achieving exactly what we were expected to achieve in the first place when we set off on this life's path. Okay, so we're rising up. And when we let go of all that difficult stuff, the burdens, the problems, the things that we've hung on to, when we release all of that, our ego, we then start to rise. We are lighter. Okay, we've learned. We are at one with our spirit. Okay, thank you. And life is a series of judgments in an uncertain world. Yes, and that is true. And here we are at the world's culmination of events. We're balanced, we're in alignment, everything has come together. There is sometimes a very simple explanation with this card, which people say for travel. It can mean travel as well, but it means so much more than that. It's about us coming together as a whole, all the different aspects of us, okay, coming together. Okay, we are in alignment. We have one final step to take us back to the very first step with the Fool. Okay, because this is our journey, which is cyclic. So how do we move from the world back to the Fool? This is probably one of my favorite steps of the whole cycle. New horizons. Chloe says, beginner's mind, no matter how much we know, we can see everything afresh. Stepping out in our world and starting anew again, accepting a new cycle, Miguel says. It requires a lot of faith to start something new, and it does. And be willing to start afresh. Okay, we need to. Our curiosity is insatiable. What's next? Deep breath. And there's more to explore. Okay, so can you see our mindset is going back towards the vulnerability and openness of the Fool? Okay, we're moving back in that direction because we've lost all that clutter. We're not hanging on to that baggage anymore. We've learned our lessons. So here we're moving from the world to the Fool. Okay, we're starting again. We've got that salt circle around us, that purification, and we're planting new seeds. We're planting aces into the ground, okay, which will start our new experiences. We're going to grow something new. We're going to start again. So this is the point before the Fool stood on the cliff, okay? This is that final aspect of what are we going to do now? Okay, we're going to plant some seeds. So they're on a different planet here. They're starting afresh. They're starting from scratch. And she has got the 4 symbols of air, earth, water, and fire on her tunic there to symbolize that she has mastered all of that in her world stage. Okay, and then we've got the Fool's knapsack with the Fool who is planting that first seed. A breathtaking card, and Chloe loves that card. They're so cute. They are cute. Without feel like a child ready for a new cycle. Yeah, definitely. Takes me back to the Fool card. We've come full circle and we're about ready to make our step off the cliff again. And then we start again. And these are our continuous cycles. So how we can make our cards cyclic. Within my deck, I've also done the same thing with the minus cards, which are our day-to-day experiences. And I've also done the same with the court cards to keep them in their families as well. So as tarot. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, before I stop sharing my screen, for the people that have just met me tonight, these are the ways you can get in touch with me afterwards. I'm on all those different mediums, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter as the InBetween Tarot. So you'll be able to find me. And I always get back to everybody. And I'll stop sharing my screen at this point because I'm going to throw the floor open to you if you've got any questions for me. And I hope you enjoyed that journey through the tarot cards. Does anybody have any questions? I'm very friendly, I don't bite. Thanks, Susan. Before you put your cards away, we're going to do one final thing. I want you to shuffle your majors and I want you to pick a card for where you currently are on your cyclic journey within your life. I'm going to do the same. You're welcome, Linda. You're welcome, Sue. You're welcome, Cheryl. Okay. Oh, if I get the devil or a tower in between space now. Oh my God. I got the devil to the tower. I just said it and then I pulled it. Can you believe that? So that's where I am. I'm about ready to walk into that glass that glass wall. Ah, yeah, it's a good job I'm an Aries. I can deal with that, right? We're tough. What have you all got? Feel free to share, and you can unmute yourselves at this point and just have a chat. Susan, do you want to share yours? You just unmuted.
Yes, I've got the Chariot, and it flew out actually, so I thought, okay, it's a message. So
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
quite a nice card.
So right, so what you can do is consider the in-between stage behind the Chariot and the one in front of the Chariot. Okay, the energy that you moved from and the energy that you're moving into. So yeah, looking at those different sides to it as well.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to share?
I got the moon, of course, right after I said this is the card I struggle the most with. So thanks, deck. But I am kind of in a space right now in my life where, yeah, I think that my kind of my dreams and nightmares are kind of running the show. So this is interesting to see.
Okay.
Guess I need to study that
So
card.
that'd be interesting to see. So you have to consider the card behind it and the card in front of it as well, those
Oh, that's
in-between
right.
stages. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Is does anybody else want to share what they got?
I got the Fall, which is quite interesting because I'm starting a new beginning. I'll be moving in with my fiance hopefully in the summer.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. And so you moving from the in-between stage of the world completeness to the newness of the Fool, and then your next in-between stage is taking you through to the Magician, so you're going to have those tools to build that new life together. That's very exciting. Thanks. That's my daughter, by the way. I'm sure she doesn't mind me pointing her out. Now I've expanded my screen, I can see everybody, so yeah. Yeah, congratulations to my Chloe, who's yeah, she's just got engaged and they're moving in together. And your hair's lovely, by the way, love.
Thank you.
I like it. It's good to see you. Missing you a lot.
Miss you too.
Gosh, it's 5:30. I'm so sorry, Jennifer, that I have taken up more time than I expected to.
It's all right. I think everybody's enjoyed themselves.
I really hope so. I hope you got a lot out of it. And any questions, I take them afterwards. You can email me. Just get in touch for a chat. Can I take a group photo of you all? Would you mind? Is there anybody who doesn't want a photo?
If you don't want a photo, hide your video.
I'm happy.
I don't mind.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, if you don't want a photo, you could hide your video. I'd love if you don't mind, because I'd like to put a post just to say that I've had that communication with you lovely groups. So thank you very much.
Janine, I've got a quick question. Is the In-Between Tarot, is it a full deck or a majors only? Because I love what we've done today.
Oh, thank you. So we did the majors only deck in 2013. So that was just the 22 cards with the in-between spaces. And then I self-published that one. And then in 2019, I got together with Lo Scarabeo and the fantastic artist Franco Rivoli to do the full 78 card deck. So it's a box set. So there's the box, and it's got the book, and then the full 78 cards which sit in the middle of the box.
Great.
So yeah, it's got an explanation of the concept and everything in the book. And then the next project that we're doing is an oracle deck. So doing the oracle deck of bridges, which is going to be something different again, and that's just in the early stages at the moment.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. I think I know what I'll be doing after this meeting.
And feel free to add me as a friend. So I'm most active on Instagram. So I love that spiritual community on there. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, everyone's really friendly. Has anyone else got any questions for me? Okay.
This might be one I should email you about, but I kind of got lost with the astrological correspondences after we hit the wheel, because they were kind of moving, you know, one after the other, and then suddenly, you know, the wheel's not Libra, Justice is, and then sort of they all.
So some of them I didn't put the glyphs in there, and some of the cards on the Fool's Journey are elemental correspondences, like the Hanged Man has got water.
Okay.
And the Judgment card has got fire. So you've not always got an astrological correspondence with them. So I have put them in where I could. And they do tend to follow the order. So you've got Aries with the Emperor, Taurus, and then Gemini with the Lovers. So it does tend to follow the order, but you've got other things mixed in there with the planets and the elemental correspondences.
Okay, totally makes sense. Thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so that's why they're not in all of the cards. Anybody else got any questions? I can see a cat there. Lovely. Okay, well, thank you very much. Lovely to see you all and to have a chat with you tonight. And thanks again, Jennifer, for giving me this space.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll stay in touch. When your oracle comes out, we'll have you back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I will do. Yeah, we're in touch through Instagram, so I will speak to you about that later on. Jennifer, then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, take care, everyone.
All right. Thanks for
Bye.
coming, everybody.
Happy spring equinox and have a lovely weekend, everybody. Take care.
Happy equinox.
Yes, happy equinox.
Good to meet you, Janine.
Good to meet you too.
Thank you. Another fantastic session and a bit more enabling going on. I'm off to Amazon now.
We aim to do that. We keep Amazon in business.
Great. Loved it, Janine. Thank you so much. See you on Instagram.
I just got some more bookshelves
yeah,
today from IKEA to put more tarot cards on. More bookshelves from IKEA just arrived earlier.
We better go and build them.
I've ordered the Mysterium deck, the Wild Unknown deck, Lenormand cards by Metavasi, who was on before. I should have mentioned that I'm buying his deck. And there was one more. I've ordered so many, I can't remember now. Yeah. So.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you
Okay.
on Instagram, Janine.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
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 How did that go for you, Janine?
That's husband there, by the way. And
is
he was
it?
on. Yeah, and he's the one who came down. Thanks, Carlos, with the laptop to say you can have the chat on a separate screen, which I really appreciate because I panicked at that point. I thought, oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do. I couldn't see anything. The screen had gone blank. I didn't have a chat function.
Yeah, the thing is that you asked you showed the first card and you said, what are your thoughts? And everyone was writing and you went, all right, let's continue, because maybe you thought no one was writing. So I thought, oh, maybe she can't see the chat box. That's why I went downstairs.
No, because Jennifer, you said that we were going to like unmute and everybody would speak. And I thought because nobody unmuted and spoke that I should just continue. So I was like, oh.
I know, it's weird because normally people chatter all the way through it. But they must have been so busy writing. Nobody bothered to do that. So
but it was good to do. I mean, it is nice when you've got that interaction, but I suppose when there's a lot of people, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it?
It is, but we're normally so well behaved that if one person talks, everybody shuts up.
Because they're not like that in my classes that I run in the day. They all talk over.
Oh, maybe I'm too strict with them.
What a lovely group. They're so nice, and I think that's a I spoke to Mary as well. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we do a monthly Zoom session for the members. So everybody's
yeah.
getting used to getting together every month on Zoom. And then we have a chat
Got
and we
you.
throw some cards around and stuff. But I don't host that anymore. I've passed that on to Linda, who was here tonight. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's really good because everyone's getting to know each other that bit better. Because normally we only meet once a year at the conference. So yeah,
that's true.
Really good. So
happy bringing people together.
it is, and our membership's soaring. So we're doing something right.
Oh, that's good. Oh, how much did we raise for Mental Health UK tonight?
Well, it was £5 a head, and Tabby match it. So I'm not sure on the figures, but I can find them and let you know.
Oh, right. So it's like roughly, there's about 30 people, was there? I think.
I think 30 people have paid, so some will watch the video afterwards.
Right, okay.
So what's that? £150.
Amazing. And then Tabby
And we match it, so that's 300.
300. Oh wow.
That's if my maths is right. I'll speak to Steve, the treasurer, and he'll give me the figures.
Ah, thanks. Yeah, that's amazing. I'd love to know the final figure. That's really good.
Yeah. I'll have to let you know. I'll drop him a message.
How are you feeling now? Because you looked so tired before.
I'm absolutely knackered. I want to go to bed. So my colleague had her injection at work because we had surplus, and she's been ill since. That was Thursday lunchtime, and I'm just absolutely shattered. So, but I'll get to bed early and hopefully I can sleep it off. And if this is the worst I'm gonna get, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you feel right as rain. Sure.
Hope so.
Was that what you were expecting? Was that okay?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah. See, I've never really encountered your deck before, and I didn't understand the concept. So now you've explained it, it's sunk in a bit more.
That's good.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody explain their vision rather than you have it in your lap and you don't quite understand what you're doing with it.
And I think when you go through it with other people and they do it themselves and they come up with their own perspectives, I think it makes it sink in even more.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about the cards, because it's not just a set meaning in a book, is it? It means something different to other people. And when you start to get that flow, then the ideas start to really multiply, which is great. That's what I wanted from it.
Yeah. So have you enjoyed it though, technical issues aside?
I loved it, apart from that bit of panic at the start, which threw me off, and I started to really get into it. I couldn't see people while I was going through it because I had screen on screen, but that was fine. Yeah, it was
Don't
really
worry,
good.
you handled it beautifully.
And I can relax now and have a glass of wine.
You can. I will let you go, and thanks ever so much, and I'll get those figures to you.
Take care of yourself.
All right. See you soon. Bye. Bye.